What if I told you that one of the most secretive and mysterious places on Earth is also one of the coldest? A place that holds hidden mountain ranges, alien-like landscapes, and clandestine meetings of the world's most influential figures. A place that has been agreed upon by nearly every nation to remain untouched, yet is the subject of countless expeditions and rumors of covert operations. We're talking about Antarctica, a land of snow and ice and a hotbed of intrigue. So let's embark on a chilling journey to the world's southernmost continent, shall we? Antarctica, Earth's southernmost continent, home to sub-zero temperatures, colossal glaciers, and a distinct lack of permanent residents. But this isn't just a barren, icy wilderness. In fact, it's a place that piques our collective curiosity. Could this frozen wasteland be teeming with secrets just waiting to be uncovered? Antarctica boasts an array of fascinating and unique geographic features, the likes of which can't be found anywhere else on Earth. Its expansive ice sheets, the largest single mass of ice on our planet, are powerful enough to influence global weather patterns and sea levels. Beneath this icy surface lies a diverse landscape of mountains, valleys, and even subglacial lakes, their secrets perfectly preserved by the unforgiving cold. Amid these extreme conditions, life persists. Antarctica is home to a rich array of wildlife, from the regal emperor penguins to the tiny hardy tardigrades. Yet human habitation here is temporary and limited, with no native or permanent residents. The people who do venture here are usually scientists living in research stations, studying everything from climate change to astrobiology, in conditions that are as close as we can get to those on other planets. And then, of course, there's the ominous polar night. And for about half the year, the sun never rises over the Antarctic horizon, plunging the continent into months of relentless darkness. Imagine standing there, beneath the ethereal glow of the aurora australis, the frozen plains stretching out before you as far as the eye can see, untouched and silent. It's in this profound silence and isolation that one begins to wonder, what secrets does Antarctica hold? Why do people, some of them very influential, visit this icy, inhospitable wilderness? Could there be clandestine meetings occurring in the hushed silence of its frozen expanse? Antarctica's enduring allure lies in its isolation, its extreme conditions, and its inaccessibility. It's a place that challenges our understanding of life and survival, a testament to nature's raw power and resilience. It's a place of mystery and beauty, of ice and isolation. But the real question that hangs over this icy wilderness is this: what secrets does it hold? Let's start by exploring the enigma that is Antarctica. So we've talked about the famous faces who've been to Antarctica and the ambiguities surrounding their trips. But what about the mysterious missions that have taken place in this frozen wasteland? Because as it turns out, Antarctica has been the stage for several undertakings that still baffle us today. Let's begin with Operation High Jump. This expedition, led by the United States Navy in 1946, was officially a scientific and exploratory mission. But the scale was staggering. Around 4,000 personnel, 13 ships and numerous aircraft were involved, making it the largest Antarctic expedition ever. Officially, the mission was to establish a research base and to test military hardware in extreme conditions. Yet the operation ended abruptly, well before the planned 8-month duration. Why was that? Well, the official explanation was unfavorable weather conditions, but conspiracy theorists suggest there might be more to it. Another significant event was the Soviet Union's Antarctic expeditions in the late 1950s and 60s, particularly the establishment of the Vostok Station. Beneath this station lies the hidden Lake Vostok, a vast untouched body of water cut off from the world for possibly millions of years. Could the Soviet Union have been interested in something more than just scientific research? But perhaps one of the most intriguing stories of Antarctic exploration is the British Operation Tabarin of 1943. Officially, this mission aimed to provide a British presence in the Antarctic, denying access to the area for enemy ships and submarines during World War II. But the secrecy surrounding it, plus the establishment of permanently occupied bases, led to speculations about potential ulterior motives. All these missions, while draped in the mantle of science and exploration, had undertones of military strategy, geopolitical influence, or, according to some, even darker purposes. Whether it was the Americans, the Soviets, or the British, each expedition left behind a legacy of unanswered questions. What were these nations truly seeking in the vast, icy expanse of Antarctica? The answers, much like the continent itself, remain in mystery and ice. Now, you may be wondering, who are these high-profile visitors we're talking about? Well, over the years, there have been several intriguing instances of noted individuals journeying to the Antarctic. Let's delve into a few of these enigmatic encounters. One of the most famous figures to visit Antarctica was none other than the Secretary of State of the United States, John Kerry. This happened in 2016 during the last days of his term in office. What makes this trip interesting isn't just the timing, but also the reasoning. While the stated purpose was to learn about the effects of climate change, conspiracy theorists suggest there could be more to the story. Then we have the case of the revered Apollo astronaut Buzz Aldrin, who journeyed to the South Pole at the age of 86. The official reason? A tourist visit. But Aldrin's trip, given his NASA background, spurred theories about potential extraterrestrial interests in the region. Rounding up our list is Prince Harry of the United Kingdom, who trekked to the South Pole with wounded veterans in a charity event. But was this just a charity event? Or was there something else to this royal visit? And let's not forget the Russian Orthodox Church's Patriarch Kirill, who also visited a Russian scientific base in Antarctica. His motive? To bless the continent, or was there a hidden reason? All these visits by people from different nations and fields, each with their own stated reasons, seem to suggest that there might be more happening on this icy, deserted continent than meets the eye. Given the constraints and difficulties of getting to Antarctica, one has to ask, why would these people from various parts of the world take the time and effort to visit this inhospitable land? And why do these visits often seem in secrecy or ambiguity? Is it merely a coincidence that these powerful figures chose to venture to the Earth's southernmost point? Or could there be clandestine motivations hidden beneath the iceberg? We can only hypothesize and wonder as Antarctica continues to keep its secrets well guarded. The allure of Antarctica doesn't end with its geopolitical intrigue or its VIP guest list. The land itself holds secrets that baffle scientists and thrill seekers alike. For instance, beneath its icy surface, Antarctica hides the Gamburtsev Mountains, a mountain range as grand as the Alps, entirely buried under miles of ice. Discovered in 1958 by Soviet scientists, these ghost mountains remain a mystery, with scientists still unsure how they formed or why they haven't eroded away. But it's not just mountains that Antarctica keeps under wraps. Lake Vostok, which I mentioned earlier, is another of Antarctica's hidden marvels. It's one of the largest lakes on Earth by volume, and it's been sealed off from the world under kilometers of ice for 15 million years. Who knows what kind of life might have evolved in its dark, cold waters over such a vast span of time? Even stranger are the eerie phenomena that occur on the icy continent. Take the Blood Falls, for instance, a flow of iron-rich water that stains the Taylor Glacier a horrifying shade of red. Or the massive, nearly perfect circular hole in the sea ice, known as a polynya, that keeps appearing and disappearing in the Weddell Sea, baffling scientists. Then there's the Bloop, an ultra-low-frequency, high-amplitude underwater sound detected by NOAA in 1997. While scientists think the noise is most likely from icequakes, others believe it could be a giant, unknown sea creature lurking in the icy depths. But perhaps the biggest secret of all is the mystery of what lies beneath the ice. Scientists have found evidence of warm caves, heated by volcanic activity, that could potentially host life. Additionally, satellite imagery has revealed strange, unnatural-looking structures beneath the ice, leading to wild speculations about lost civilizations or even extraterrestrial bases. These elements, together with the political and historical mysteries we've discussed, make Antarctica a hotbed of intrigue. Despite its frigid temperatures, what secrets does this icy fortress still hold? Only time, exploration, and science can tell. Let's begin with the question, what is the only continent on Earth without a native human population? If you guessed Antarctica, you'd be correct. This naturally leads to the question, who owns Antarctica? Interestingly, nobody does. In fact, the continent is governed by a pioneering piece of legislation, known as the Antarctic Treaty. The Antarctic Treaty, signed in 1959, is an unprecedented international agreement that has been in place for over half a century. This groundbreaking pact, ratified by 54 parties as of now, suspends national claims to territory in Antarctica, making the continent a shared scientific preserve. But what's even more fascinating is that it prohibits military activity, mineral mining, nuclear testing, and nuclear waste disposal. Imagine the foresight it took to keep one of Earth's last frontiers free from exploitation and conflict. Antarctica, in essence, represents a remarkable experiment in international cooperation and peace. It's an attempt to maintain the pristine condition of the continent and its ecosystems for future generations. The treaty also encourages freedom of scientific investigation and cooperation between nations. And this cooperation has led to some monumental discoveries in fields like geology, glaciology, and climatology. Not to mention, it has provided us with invaluable insights into the history of our planet and the effects of climate change. Now, while all these regulations are in place, the treaty doesn't explicitly ban human presence or certain types of activity. It has specific provisions for inspection and observation by any party, at any time. However, the mystery deepens when we learn that while countries have the liberty to send scientific expeditions, many reports suggest that VIPs and important figures have visited the icy continent under hushed circumstances. So, why would these important personalities want to visit the coldest, windiest, driest, and arguably the harshest place on Earth? Is it the allure of the untamed wilderness? Or are there secret meetings taking place beneath the guise of scientific expeditions? The conjectures only add to the aura of mystery that surrounds Antarctica. The icy fortress of Antarctica, filled with political VIP visitors, daring missions, and natural wonders that defy comprehension. Whether it's secret meetings, ghost mountains, eerie sounds, or potential extraterrestrial bases, Antarctica continues to baffle, intrigue, and fascinate us. As the world advances, so does our curiosity and our ability to explore these remaining frontiers. Only time, exploration, and science will reveal the full scope of Antarctica's secrets. Did you know that the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth was -128.6 degrees Fahrenheit? And it was recorded in Antarctica. But what if I told you that beneath this hostile, frigid expanse, there might be traces of ancient civilizations? Sounds outlandish, doesn't it? But stick with me, because this icy mystery is a rabbit hole that goes deep into our past. Today we're going to delve into a world that is often overlooked in our discourse about ancient civilizations, the frozen continent of Antarctica. Now, Antarctica might be the last place you would think of when it comes to ancient civilizations. After all, it's the coldest, windiest, and driest continent, a harsh landscape covered in ice up to a mile thick. It's seemingly inhospitable, an icy wilderness that is the definition of desolation. And yet, what if I told you that this freezing wasteland may have once been a bustling hub of ancient activity? Through the ages, Antarctica has been subject to a variety of hypotheses and theories. It has always been a source of mystery, partly due to its inaccessibility and the harsh conditions that make exploration a formidable challenge. Some theories suggest that this continent, now hidden beneath miles of ice, was once home to ancient civilizations that we can hardly imagine. These theories often hinge on controversial interpretations of satellite imagery, ancient maps, and unique structures spotted under the ice, suggesting human or perhaps even non-human activity. One of the most famous pieces of evidence is the Piri Reis map, a pre-modern world map compiled in 1513 by the Ottoman admiral and cartographer Piri Reis. Part of this map shows the northern part of Antarctica, ice-free, which has led to speculations about ancient maritime civilizations with advanced geographical knowledge. Critics, however, argue that the map is a compilation of multiple sources, some of which may have been flawed. Satellite imagery of Antarctica has also led to intrigue and speculation. In 2006, Google Earth users spotted a formation in Antarctica that looked uncannily like a face, leading to suggestions of a lost civilization. Scientists, however, think that this is a natural phenomenon known as pareidolia, where the mind perceives a familiar pattern where none actually exists. The most provocative theories suggest that ancient alien civilizations could have once made their home on the icy continent, pointing towards supposed pyramid-like structures visible beneath the ice, though these claims are yet to find any substantial scientific backing. So, what is the truth? Is it possible that an ancient civilization could have once existed in this inhospitable landscape? Or are these theories the products of overactive imaginations and misinterpreted data? It's time for us to embark on a journey of exploration and discovery. into the icy depths of Antarctica. We're all familiar with the mysteries of the ancient world, but Antarctica's mysteries are, well, colder and much more unusual. There are theories that take our understanding of ancient civilizations and flip it on its head, painting a picture of a past that is both startling and thought-provoking. Let's delve into some of these unconventional theories, each with its unique blend of mystery, speculation, and a dash of audaciousness. The first, and perhaps the most known, is the hypothesis that Antarctica is the lost continent of Atlantis. Proponents of this theory suggest that around 12,000 years ago, the entire continent was shifted from a temperate zone to the South Pole due to Earth's crust displacement, a controversial idea put forward by Charles Hapgood in the 1950s. This cataclysmic event, they suggest, froze the sophisticated Atlantean civilization in a matter of days, preserving it beneath the ice. But what about those pyramid-like structures I mentioned earlier? Some theorize that these are remnants of this ancient civilization. These structures, visible via satellite, bear an uncanny resemblance to the pyramids of Egypt and Central America. However, most scientists argue that these pyramid-like formations are likely the result of natural erosion and wind patterns unique to Antarctica. And then there's the theory of an ancient extraterrestrial outpost in Antarctica. It's been suggested that some of the unusual formations and anomalies found on the continent may be the remains of alien technology or structures. Proponents of this idea often cite supposed UFO sightings and unexplained phenomena in the region. But again, these claims have not found widespread acceptance in the scientific community. And let's not forget the speculation surrounding ancient maps, like the Piri Reis and Orontius Phineas maps, which seem to depict the Antarctic coastline free of ice, suggesting that the cartographers had knowledge of the continent long before it was officially discovered. Skeptics, however, argue that these maps are based on guesswork and mistaken interpretations of other landmasses. The Piri Reis map has long been a subject of fascination among historians, cartographers, and conspiracy theorists alike. Drawn in 1513 by Ottoman admiral and cartographer Piri Reis, this map illustrates parts of Europe, Africa, and the Americas with surprising accuracy for the time. But the intrigue doesn't stop there. The southernmost portion of the map seems to depict the northern coastline of Antarctica, a landmass not officially discovered until 1820. But how is that possible? Some proponents of unconventional theories suggest that the map is evidence of an advanced ancient civilization that had detailed geographical knowledge long before modern science. They argue that the Piri Reis map, along with other similar cartographic anomalies, proves that ancient mariners must have charted the Antarctic coast when it was free of ice, a situation that hasn't existed for over 34,000 years according to current scientific understanding. The details of the Piri Reis map are remarkable. It is said to include mountain ranges that were not discovered until the advent of modern seismic surveys, and even features a detailed depiction of the Andean Range in South America, which is surprisingly accurate for a 16th century map. However, skeptics caution against reading too much into these observations. They argue that the map's supposed depiction of Antarctica could be based on a misunderstanding of the South American coastline. As for the extraordinary detail, they suggest that this could be the result of synthesis from a variety of sources, some of which may have contained errors or embellishments. Despite the debate, one fact remains. The Piri Reis map is an extraordinary piece of historical cartography. It offers a glimpse into the knowledge and skill of early 16th century navigators and the seafaring cultures that produced them. And although the debate around the Piri Reis map and its implications for our understanding of ancient civilizations will likely continue, it undeniably continues to add a layer of mystery to that is Antarctica. As we continue to dig deeper into our past, we are left pondering, what else is waiting to be discovered? As you might expect, the scientific community's perspective on the possibility of ancient civilizations in Antarctica is rooted in a careful analysis of available evidence and our current understanding of geology, climate history, and human development. Firstly, Antarctica is and has been for millions of years the coldest, driest, and windiest continent, with temperatures that can drop below -80 degrees Celsius. Surviving in such conditions would be a monumental challenge for any civilization, ancient or modern. Thus, the idea of a long-lost society thriving in this frozen landscape seems unlikely. In terms of geology and climate history, our current understanding tells us that Antarctica has been covered in ice for about 34 million years. This was confirmed by ice cores drilled deep into the Antarctic ice sheet, which provide a record of past climates. This leads us to question, if Antarctica has been an icy wasteland for millions of years, how could an ancient civilization have existed there? Furthermore, the timeline of human evolution and migration also complicates the idea of an ancient Antarctic civilization. Modern humans are believed to have emerged around 300,000 years ago, and our ancestors began to migrate out of Africa about 70,000 years ago. But even if they could have reached Antarctica, the extreme conditions would have made survival virtually impossible. That said, the scientific community is not dismissive of all unconventional ideas. The Piri-Reis map, for instance, does raise interesting questions about the knowledge of ancient seafarers. However, rather than attributing this to a lost civilization, most scientists would likely view it as a testament to the skill and knowledge of the historical societies that we already know about. Let's delve into the realm of the deepest human-made hole and consider the climatic history of Antarctica. The title for the deepest humans have drilled into the Earth goes to the Kola Super Deep Borehole, located in Russia. This ambitious drilling project reached a staggering depth of about 7.5 miles or 12 kilometers before it was stopped in the early 1990s. Even this depth, however, is still less than 0.2% of the Earth's total radius. As for Antarctica, deep ice cores have been drilled, but these extend only a few kilometers down, providing a record of hundreds of thousands of years of Earth's climate history. This brings us to the climatic past of Antarctica. According to geologists, Antarctica has not always been the frozen land we know today. The continent was once part of the supercontinent Gondwana, which existed in the southern hemisphere millions of years ago. Fossil records indicate that Gondwana was home to a variety of plant and animal life, suggesting a much warmer climate. Around 180 million years ago, Gondwana started to break apart. Antarctica slowly moved to its present location over the South Pole, and by about 34 million years ago, the continent was rapidly cooling. This cooling trend culminated in the formation of a permanent ice sheet. However, while there were fluctuations in the extent of the ice cover due to global climate cycles, Antarctica has been largely icy for millions of years. There are indeed hypotheses suggesting that parts of Antarctica could have been ice-free and warmer during certain periods due to factors like geothermal heat and changes in Earth's orbit. However, these periods likely occurred millions of years ago, well before humans existed. Thus, while Antarctica may have once been a warmer, hospitable place, this would have been in a geological era far removed from the advent of human civilization. Despite this, the question of Antarctica's past and its secrets continue to captivate scientists and explorers, keeping the icy continent firmly in the realm of intriguing exploration. I hope you enjoyed our video today. Let me know any ideas or suggestions for future videos down below. And as always, thanks for watching.